Hi, welcome to Dragon's Cave. My name's Karen. I've got this mould. It's a book-shaped trinket box. The the lid, you may have seen this done by other people. It's really pretty. Or it's been pretty when other people have done it. Not so sure how it'll turn up with me. So what I'm planning to do is I'm going to turn this inside out because you can see the shape of the edges of the pages here. So I'm going to paint these with this gold mica powder, and then I'm going to back it with, I want quite a dark red. So I've got this pigment paste. Looks darker in the bottle than it does on the screen, but if that's not quite dark enough, then I'll add a little bit of the black pigment paste. So yeah, let's crack on. Start with a big brush and work my way from there. You do need to make sure these powders are properly worked in, because otherwise they can be quite patchy, as I have previously found out to my cost. I mean, yeah, you can touch them up afterwards with like a gold marker pen, which just saves a lot of time and effort if you get it right first time. Overloaded the brush a little there, so I'm going to have quite a bit of cleanup to do afterwards. So you can even see what I'm doing. Yes, you can. That's all right. Stuff is really difficult to actually get off the silicone mats afterwards as well. So try not to make too much mess. Soapy water is usually the best thing for it. I don't know if you can see, you should be able to see that's got kind of like engraving up the spine. I was thinking of using a gold glittery UV resin in there, but the only way to do that is while it's inside out. And then of course when you turn the mould back, it's likely to pop off. Move that out of the way. Here we go. As usual, the moment I start doing anything with the camera running, there's a lot of traffic outside. It's like they know. Or maybe I just don't notice it so much when I'm not filming. Which is probably more likely, because when I'm not filming, I've also usually got the radio on. But YouTube doesn't like that. They end up muting you because they think you've breached copyright, or they probably have breached copyright by having a radio station in the background. Okay, I think that's that. I'm going to double check everywhere and make sure everything's covered. Brush off the excess and then do a little cleanup. And I'll be back when I got my resin mixed up. See you in a minute. Bye. Hi, back again. I've already discovered that if I ever do this mould again, and I quite likely will, I will be painting the pages after. Oh, didn't want that one yet. Painting the pages after I poured the colour, because getting the excess mica off was an absolute nightmare. So I need to work fairly quickly because the cup that I've mixed in is quite deep, and I don't want to risk a flash cure by letting it sit there too long. It's nice and warm, it's degassing nicely. So I'm going to pop up some red into them there. Probably need a bit more than that. I've got about, what did I do? 80 grams of A to 160 grams of B. So roughly 240 grams of resin in this cup. Unfortunately, I didn't have a bigger cup to hand. Mixing in quite well. Does take a little bit of work to get it properly mixed in. Check it, see if I can see any lumps in the cup. Okay, it's not quite opaque enough. I'm going to put a drop more red in there, and then I think I'm going to put a touch of black because it's not as dark as I'd like it to be. Pigment paste is wonderful, but it is very messy. I've just realised I haven't turned any lights on. That might be a little better. Here we go. So that's getting better. It looks lighter on the screen than it actually is, but it's still a little bit too light for what I want. Let's pop that lid back on there. Move the mucky pot out of the way. And put a tiny bit of black pigment paste in just to, where am I, this end, mix this up. It can separate if you leave it sitting too long, so it's always best to give it a bit of a stir. I think it's probably too much actually. Let's try that. So it doesn't want to come off the stick, which is normal. Okay, let's give that a go. Oh, that's better. I know what you're seeing is it looks quite dark and muddy. Hoping it turns out better than it looks. It's kind of purpley now, whereas I wanted more of a kind of burgundy. I didn't have any. Oh, actually, that's quite a nice colour. Didn't have any mica powders in the colour that I wanted, and also mica powders tend to be very sparkly, whereas I wanted more of a flat colour for this. Okay. Oh, I can see this not quite mixed in there. Okay. Okay, let's get pouring. Oh, that was a loud one. I don't actually know how much this mould takes, I'm just kind of winging it. I think we might just about be all right on this. Give it a bit more of a stir. I can see it's a little bit streaky in the cup. Just stir that a little bit more to make sure it's all mixed in properly. Sorry, my hand's in the way there. Get these air bubbles in the corner. Give it a squish. Bubbles out. One of the good things with these moulds is that because they're so thin, you can see when there's air trapped. There we go. I think that's got everything. I can see one or two up here. Quite difficult to run a tour around here because it's so deep. Although I do have this is it's a tool for clay, but because it's got a curved end, it does make it easier to get under here, right into the edges. Hope you can see that. Oh, it seems to be introducing more bubbles than it's getting out because this piece is so thin. So I'm going to leave that alone. I will use it to run under the edge here though. Okay, so get these bubbles out again. I think, oops, no, see, thought the bubbles were out, but they weren't. Okay, so that's pretty much there now, I think. Just top off both the moulds. Make sure they're completely full. And that was, okay, I'm maybe a little short on the lid, but not enough, I don't think, to make any real difference. It's still going to have the lip, but it needs for fitting onto the box. Fraction lower than it should be, but it's okay. It would be a very tiny amount that I would need to top it up. Probably only about 20 ml. So yeah, I think I did pretty well guesswork there. Okay, I'm going to move this onto the heat mat to do a clean up, and I'll see you later for the demold. Bye. Okay, we're back again, ready to demold now. I'm hoping it's a nicer colour than it looks here. Seriously overdid the black. Disappointing, but you can only hope when it comes out. Okay, so it's turned out more of a brown than the burgundy that I was looking for, but it's not the ugliest thing in the world. Put that to the side. You can still see a little bit of gold powder that was on the mould, but I quite like that actually. It gives it a bit of an antique-y look, I think. See how the lid came out. Okay, a couple of air bubbles here, but I'll fill those with UV resin. It's not the smoothest finish either. That's okay, because I'm going to be covering the lid anyway. So, as you can see, one side is slightly narrower than the other, and that's so that it fits onto the box. It actually looks like a book. Sorry about the ring light. So the plan for the cover, I got these stickers. Now they came originally with like a white border on them. I've cut that out. I'm just going to be popping these in various spots across, kind of overlaid and hanging over. I probably won't use all of these. I've cut out too many, but and then we'll put some gold in the the pattern on the spine of the book. I'll try turning that off and see if you can still. Yeah, okay. So yeah, the patterns on the spine of the book, I'll cover the detail with gold. I'll have a think about what's going on where, and come back to you when we're ready for the next stage. Bye. Hi. Last part of the video, I think now. This, I don't know if you can see, it's like little air bubbles caught in here. And I painted the side. I painted the indents with a gold pen, wipe that off. There's obviously still quite a bit of gold powder here and there. I kind of like it, gives it a bit of a more of an antique-y look, because I'm not overall happy with the colour anyway. I put far too much black in there. But okay, we're on the home stretch now. Just going to put some stickers on the lid. And I've kind of laid out where I wanted them to be. Taken a photograph on my other phone. So I started these stickers off as well before I started filming, because they were a nightmare to get the backing off. And unfortunately, because they're paper stickers, I tried the sellotape trick and it did not help. So let's pop these on. And say I've got a rough guide of where I wanted to put them. I was thinking of coating them, but because the side, putting a top coat of resin on, but because the sides are curved, I think it would be quite difficult for me, at least, to do that. So what I'll probably end up doing is maybe spraying a coat of varnish over, just to protect the stickers. Okay, almost there. Yeah, I'm going to have to trim that one because it's gone too far over. and I'm kind of debating whether or not to put this one in. I think I will. Just don't want to cover up too much of the other stickers really, but there we go. Okay, so I'll trim the edges of these stickers off. Very likely give it a spray coat of varnish, get some pictures for you, and see you all for the next one. Bye.